You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I'm Rodney Rogers. This is my partner, Coach Easton Crime, Mike the Man Coy himself.
A magician was walking down the street and he turned into a grocery store.
That was odd. How do you do that? Oh, man, Mike, I don't have that.
It's all magic.
I don't.
I've hooked you up.
Mike, are you ready for this? Uh-oh. I don't hear it.
Is your volume turned up on your little sound effects party maker there?
Yes.
All the way up?
I think it is, Mike. I got it.
I don't believe you.
You ready? Oh, it's a little bitty one.
Are you plugged in all the way? Make sure your sound effects party maker toys are plugged in all the way.
I am plugged in all the way.
Try me. Give me another one.
I
got half of you.
Yeah, I get half too.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's plugged in all the way. Might be your case or something. I don't know. Or not.
No case around it. So anyway.
We tried.
Great joke, Mike.
Let me give you another one.
Okay. Lay it on.
I totally understand how batteries feel because I'm rarely ever included in anything.
That's funny. Doesn't quite have the effect I thought it would.
Sounds like my 4th of July right there.
So I finally snuck in some sound effects in on Mike. I was playing with a bunch of them today, and there's not as many out there as there's a bunch of sound effect apps, but not quite what I had. I mean, what I had.
Just get the fart app and fart all
That's
episode long.
Oh, man. So, Mike, we get to talk about some exciting stuff. Before we even start, I just want to quickly mention we have a camping trip coming up on December 5th. I want to get that out there. It'll be the Rodney Rogers Outdoors second biannual.
Well, we've been doing it 3 years, so it's our second one, so it's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So keep in mind it's a Mackeson Island on West Lake Toho. It's an island all to ourselves. So if you have a kayak, a canoe, anything of the sort, feel free to.
And if they don't,
we have a pontoon. We actually have a couple boats going that'll tote people back and forth. Now, if you're not familiar with country language, tote means carry. We'll tote you back and forth.
Not tow, not
tow.
Okay.
Yeah, and if something happens on the island where you get hurt, that's a great time for us to practice first aid.
Yeah.
You will earn your merit badge.
We're going to have how-to books standing by.
Yes, how to. Stop the bleeding. Apply pressure.
Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Just
tonight.
Don't get hurt.
It's our this is our vacation.
Yes.
I've
been looking forward to this one actually too.
We're backed up one night.
One night. That's not bad.
We do it on Tuesdays because
I've been backed up for 6 days before. You do not want to do that.
It's not the guy you want.
One night is nothing to complain about. That's all I'm saying.
I like that, Mike. That was awesome. So, Lexi's birthday, your daughter's birthday was yesterday. So,
my sweet little baby, 26 years
26
old.
years old. You feel old now, don't you?
No, she's a sweetie though.
Yeah, she's adorable.
I got zero complaints here when it comes to that whole world there.
Awesome. Yeah, happy birthday, Lexi.
Yep.
Glad it was your birthday. So if you want to participate in the show tonight, it's 262-345-7763 is our phone number. You can call in and ask questions live.
We are as live as can be.
Yeah. And about the presidential candidates. So that's about the only thing you cannot ask
about. Is that tonight or? Oh, okay.
That was last night.
That was last night.
I didn't watch the Democrat side. Okay. It's just not that I'm.
And the fact that I'm asking whether it's tonight or tomorrow shows I didn't necessarily watch either.
We're not very political up here in Rodney Rogers Outdoors. You can hashtag us. Can they hashtag us tonight?
They can, absolutely.
RROR, hashtag RROR via Twitter.
Operator standing by to take your hashtags.
Yeah, and just call if you want to call or whatever you want to do.
Or if you don't,
just
don't.
Just sit.
I mean, that's how easy we go and we are.
That's how we roll.
If you want to freaking call the number. Rodney just gave it to you. This is your show too.
And we want you to enjoy it, like we
unless you're not wearing pants and you want to describe it, then we're cutting you off.
Just We've had that happen.
We've been there and done that.
I'll never forget that, Mike. That's going to go back in our history. We are working on a 100th special. We hope to release some news about that pretty soon. We've got some maybes.
Tonight is 88, Rodney, counting down.
88. So January 5th will be our 100th special, and we hope to release some news to where we can all get together and actually enjoy a night together. So we got some plans in the works. I just want to get that out there, get it.
We've got some good things coming.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
The momentum is building.
Yeah, it is actually. It is. We're getting what you call legs.
I'm fine with that. You know, if it takes us 100 episodes to get the thing rolling, I'm fine with that.
Then
whatever it takes.
It's right on schedule.
Right on schedule.
Right on schedule. So, Mike, you were in New York this weekend.
We did. We took a little trip to New York.
Did you get to see any play? What'd you do?
We went Saturday.
It
was absolutely fantastic. It really was fantastic.
Yeah.
We'd been looking forward. My wife been wanting to see it for a long time.
Yeah.
So we got tickets to see that. And I'll be honest, the first number when it opened up, we were both, you know, you don't want to be that guy. Like, but we were like, really?
It's gonna be a long night.
Really? We waited so to see this. But then as soon as it got into the acting and the characters and you heard their personality, it was phenomenal. It was great.
Right.
But the first one was, I don't know, it was just, I don't know, maybe the mood you're in, but we were both thinking it, but not saying it.
Okay.
Really? It's kind of not great.
Because they usually don't put something on Broadway that's
except for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was good. And then the reason we went up, and I'll brag briefly and then we'll move on with the show, but my nephew, who's 16 years old,
brag away,
played Carnegie Hall.
Man, how was that? That's
and I say that it was my nephew who's 16 played Carnegie Hall.
That is,
he's a solo celloist, or he's a celloist, but
he played solo.
He played solo, Rodney, with a backup. I counted him 24, I believe, of an orchestra, full orchestra, backing him up as the solo artist. He wasn't part of a band.
Are you kidding? No. See, I didn't even know that, Mike. Wow.
Yeah. 24 complete orchestra. He came out, bowed, shook the first violinist's hand, bowed to the conductor, sat down front and center, and he was commanded this. His presence was, and I knew he was good. I've heard him play before. I knew he was really good.
Right.
And but to see him on stage in Carnegie Hall,
that's.
I mean, we were passing very
so
moving,
surreal. That's
tingling.
amazing.
I mean, it was the whole thing.
Absolutely.
But he came through. He was into and when a musician, when anybody is so passionate about what they do,
yeah,
and especially with the music and a musician like that, it just consumes you.
Yeah.
And at 16 years old, when you see that, it's breathtaking.
I would love to know what was actually going through his mind. I bet he didn't even see people. I bet he was just so focused.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I did not know he was so.
No.
To me, that takes it a whole nother level.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure going up there prior if it was just him and no musicians, or if he was part of an ensemble. But he was the solo headliner in that particular. He did a whole movement.
Wow.
Moving on past that, and
I've had those,
but it was phenomenal, and that was our purpose for going to New York to see him play and support him in his endeavors, and we were just blown away.
That's amazing. I'm going to give him one of my new apps.
Very nice.
Yeah,
very nice.
Good job. What's his name?
His name is Samuel Conkle.
Samuel Conkle.
The dude is 16 years old. He's played at Carnegie Hall. He's written a book.
Wow.
If you go to samuelconkle.com. He's written a book directed towards middle schoolers on how to survive that chapter of your life. But he's got a whole
I can't imagine being a celloist is a whole wow. I'm even more amazed.
I want to be like him when I grow up, or at least a slight part of him when I grow up. That's all I'm saying.
Mike, I don't want to grow up. I'm not going to lie about that. So
let's. Oh, what do you got? Some top stories tonight? We got some news.
I'll tell you what.
There's some news.
Yeah, there is some. What you got? Tell me what you got.
Well, let's start with the Bears. I know the Bears are in the news. Not the Bears, but the Bears.
The Black Bears.
The Black Bears. The Florida Black Bears.
We have that hunt coming up on the 24th and 25th, and they have released the check stations. I reposted on our website. They released the check station locations, which is a pretty big deal. You want to know where those are at. I have not got a chance to go through them. I've actually got an email to our buddy Tony Young. I'm hoping that somehow I can get some kind of media credential, so to speak, to visit a couple of the check stations. We can visit them. It's public, but I don't want to barge.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So the check caught your bear.
Yeah, so you have 24 hours. Or no, you have 12 hours to get to your bear check station. It's either 12 or 24. Don't quote me on that. They've moved it around a couple times.
Well, it'd have to be quick for them to be able to decide whether the hunt's continuing, right?
Yeah. So, like, if you kill it late in the afternoon, you can put it on ice and go take it up there tomorrow. If it's small, you better put it on ice. But it's nice and soaking wet by the time you.
So again, they got the 2 days that it's open season, then they decide.
Yeah, they have 2 days of absolute guaranteed season. That could go one of two ways. They could not get all the bears, the quota of bears, which is 300, in that 2 days, or they could get 400 in that 2 days.
But if they don't get their quota and the hunt moves on, when is the next day of hunting?
That Monday. Which
so
is
it
the
can't.
26th.
So it has to be. I would think it's a very short term. They can't have you show up on Monday.
No,
I mean it's got to be a 12 hour.
Yeah, it's got to be I think it's 24. I mean, let me plop it up here.
But you know what I'm saying? In order for them to make the decision whether they're going to be open on Monday.
I knew this. Yeah, I think it is 12 hours. I knew this. I don't know why. I'm drawing a blank here, but
put you on the spot. I'm just curious though, because that's kind of one of the key things of this hunt is the fact that it's 2 days for sure. But after that, you got to call in and check.
Yeah, you have to call in that Saturday, actually. They're going to stop selling they have, from what I understand, they have a little over 2,100 sold. It's $100 for residents, $300 for non-residents. Coincides bear, but they're open on Saturday. The BMUs, methods, no taking bag limit and regulation, 1 bear per season, no harvest objectives, 20% based on blam blam.
Hey, let me ask you this. Now,
yes,
are there certain areas if I live in the Ocala area and I've been having a nuisance bear up there, can I pay my $100 and when he comes up my property, I can shoot him?
No, you cannot do that. It has to be in the bear management units, which is considered a bear management unit. So there are 7 in the state of Florida, only 4 of which can be hunted, which is the Central BMU, Bear Management Unit, the East Panhandle, the North Bear Management Area, and the South. There's 6 areas, 113,000 acres. The North has 298,000 acres. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
The East Panhandle has 1.1 million acres you can bear hunt on. And then the Central is 500,000 acres. So they're mostly are wildlife management areas. You have to follow the rules of the wildlife management area that dictate. So if it's bow season in that management area, you have to hunt bow. That's how you take your bear. Cannot go in with a rifle. You need, please, if you're listening to me and you are a bear hunter, do not mess this up. They're not going to take it lightly. They've given you a million opportunities to, get these things in order. I mean, they certainly, the bear has to be no bear cubs, no harvest of bear cubs or bears, one or more that have, or the mothers carry their bears for 2 years. The bear needs to be 100 pounds live weight.
Okay.
That's
right.
That's actually a small bear. It's an average bear. If it has little ears, it's a decent bear. Remember we went through that?
It was a fascinating point last week's episode. The fact that their ears do not grow.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So if it's a smaller bear, their ears are going to appear bigger.
Exactly.
If it's a bigger bear, they're going to appear smaller. So you want to go for the ones with the smaller ears.
Yeah, I'm trying to find how many hours, 7 days coincide, cover, overlap, deer, dog. I'm trying to find the exact North End Traverse starting midnight. It's not telling me. I'll find it.
You'll have 2 minutes and 92 seconds to find it.
So check it out. My FWC, click on bears. Everything's there. I posted the check stations. Make sure you're in those check stations. You kill your bear, go to the check station as quick as you can. You don't want to be caught out of season with a bear.
Yeah.
It's federal. They don't take it lightly.
Huge point. This is federal. It's not just
federal.
Not a parking ticket you're getting here.
No, this is, 12 hours. It's 12 hours.
Okay.
Harvested bears must be checked and tagged. You will get a tag for that bear within 12 hours of recovery. Tag will be affixed to the hide by the check station staff and must remain affixed to the hide.
Okay, so you don't do it yourself like you would a gator.
No, like a gator. Because remember, if you your tag and you kill a bear next year when it's not hunt season and tag it.
Yeah.
If you're not caught.
Sure. Yeah.
So there's this way, the check station are the only ones that have the tags. They will tag the bear with the number.
Interesting.
They'll weigh it. They'll age it. They'll do all to take hair samples, blood samples. I mean, it's gonna ultimately do a lot for both sides. It really is. So I'm excited. You know me, how I feel about it. It is what it is. Now, I'm not going to personally partake in the bear season, but I'm excited to see what the guys take. You know what I mean? The fact is,
it's going to be interesting.
Here. Yeah, I've been with the FWC up there in the Tallahassee office to listen, to some better point.
I'm going to be paying attention.
Have you, as I've said before, I just wanted to make sure that they were absolutely doing their due diligence.
I'm going to follow their Twitter feed, Twiddle-dee feed on the 23rd and 24th of October.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So, I'm going to go up and check it out. I may not film. They may not let me. I may Periscope. We'll see how it goes.
Just gather some information.
Yeah, I'm certainly interested in gathering some information. So if Tony can point me to the areas of people he may know and say, Rodney, you're clear to go here, here, or here, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be absolutely awesome.
Might actually see a bear running from the woods.
Tomorrow,
October 15th, is the opening of stone crab season.
Yes, it is. Stone crab season opens tomorrow. Now, we put out 10 traps with my buddy Jason. You're allowed 10 days ahead of schedule. He went and just kind of browsed through the traps and kind of looked to see how they were doing, and there's a lot of
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Got some activity.
Yeah, he's got some. So he rebaited to feed the crabs that were in there so they would stay stay alive and healthy.
Okay.
He didn't want them to be without food for days. And then, obviously try to get some more. So I'm excited. I was going to go out with him this weekend. I'm hoping he actually checks traps tomorrow. If he does, we'll Periscope.
Okay.
And then go from there.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
to be harvested stone crab claws must be at least 2 3/4 in length when measured from the elbow to the tip of the lower immovable portion of the claw.
And are they ever delicious? You ever had them?
I can't say I'm a big crab eater.
Right.
My wife and my daughter are huge crab eaters, but I go with something that's already, I can just stick a fork and a knife into. It's a little bit work. I like it.
Right.
But I'm not a huge.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do it just to say that I did.
Yeah. It's this particular meat, probably of all crab meat, is absolutely the most delicious.
Claws cannot be taken from egg bearing
which they come pretty quick. The season stops in May, and I think it's May 15th is the end of season. Is that am I close?
I'm gonna take your word for it.
I gotta get these dates down, Pat.
Closing May 16th. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Through May 15th. Closing May 16th. You nailed it.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
you nailed it.
So, but they actually get eggs around the 1st of May.
Identifiable by the orange or brown, also known as a sponge, which is visible on the underside of the crab.
And you know what? We've seen a lot of stone crabs in the inlet at Sebastian Inlet. I was really surprised about the amount of stone crabs. We saw some really large ones. So that's going to be an interesting season. I'm going to buy some more. I'm going to buy my personal traps and actually set them out of a canoe.
And as always, the FWC's got some really good diagrams of traps and the basic information you need. They also put out a stone crab, how to catch stone crabs and how to declaw them. which
Yeah.
is actually, if you'll check it out, is on the homepage of Rodney Rogers. I put a link.
Very
right there.
quick, very easy. Drop them in. It's one of the best sustainable resources.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh, look at that, Mike. You didn't mess around, did you,
Nope.
buddy?
Right on the homepage. The YouTube video of the week is the FWC. Yeah,
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
Thank you, Rodney. Well deserved, I'm sure.
That's all you, brother,
Thank
right
you,
there.
man.
That is absolutely yours. So it is. I mean, everything's coming into season right now. The fall is when the deer season in full swing. There's still some areas in deer management DMUs, deer management areas or units that still haven't started their season. In most cases, it's still bow season in places. North Florida, they're about to get into rifle season. We have duck season coming up in November in about 3 or 4 weeks. So that's exciting, which leads I'm just going to give a topic hint tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about hunting.
Oh, good.
I've gotten a lot of questions of how to hunt. So we're going to break that down for you a little bit, what I think you should do, where I think you should start, and exactly to go from there. So,
okay.
Mike, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Well, I'll take it from here. We're going to do some letters. What? What are you talking about? Letters
Yours sounds
from.
way better than mine.
Yeah, it's because
I
I
want your app.
got to keep one up on you. Dave at Haines City, Florida wants to know, what license, Rodney, do you need for scalloping?
Fishing license. Saltwater fishing license is all you need.
Really? That covers you?
That you're covered.
Okay.
Covered. Know your limits. Know your limits because they will check you. If you're going to scallop, my suggestion is spend the money, stay in Steenahatchee, somewhere up there around Steenahatchee. That's the most productive area. That's the way to go.
Okay.
Voila. That was easy.
That was
Thank you,
easy.
Dave.
There's a question on lionfish from Linda. Like stories on lionfish. Would you please clear this up for me? Are they poisonous and can you eat them?
Yes, they are poisonous, and yes, you can eat them. Only the fins are poisonous. It's just the fins. So if you get stuck by a fin, it hurts really bad.
Deadly poisonous? Poisonous like a jellyfish poisonous? Or
some people potentially could die from it just because
certain people's reactions.
Exactly. Sure. Yeah, it's like a bee, an ant.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've known people that's gotten stung by lionfish and they're doing just fine.
Okay.
It was painful. It was scary, but they're just fine. And now that we're starting to see a lot more lionfish fishermen, we're starting to see a lot more lionfish stings.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Now, with the reaction to getting from eating that part of the fish?
No.
It's the same kind of.
Yeah. It's absolutely. Yeah. The meat of the fish is untouched, nowhere near the poison at all whatsoever.
Because I saw an episode of The Simpsons where they were eating the lionfish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Might want to not use that for
Xavier, Punta Gorda, Florida, Rodney.
Xavier.
What is a nuisance alligator?
That's one that eats all your popcorn during a movie. I hate those guys.
Darn gators.
Crabby pigs. A nuisance alligator is any alligator over 4 feet long in a public residential area that's kind of hanging around. So basically, if you have a pond, you see an alligator, they will not consider it nuisance unless it's 4 feet long.
So 4 feet is the size.
4 feet or larger. Anything less, that's it.
And they get this way from people feeding them. I mean,
they get very comfortable with people because a lot of people go, "Oh, look, it's an alligator." And
like feeding the ducks. Yeah,
it's kind of like feeding the ducks. Speaking of ducks, Mike, I had to do it. Hey, I got a pigeon too. But yeah, so that's a nuisance alligator, and the more you feed them, the more they're hanging around people, and then they start relying. And next thing you know, they're coming out of the water. It's just not a good thing. It's illegal in the state of Florida. Don't do it.
Illegal to feed them.
It's illegal to feed them. Yes.
Okay. You're biting off more than you can chew.
Literally. And I don't have a drum roll.
Last question, Rodney. Biloxi, Mississippi. Maybe that's Missouri.
How do you say that? Biloxi?
I think it's Biloxi. Stefan, I do believe, wants to know. Hey, actually, this is a different kind of question. So much involved in fishing, from traveling, the boats, casting, catching, cooking, eating. Rodney, what is your favorite part?
Honestly, Mike, and you know me, I enjoy every step of the process. I reposted our video today. I don't know if you saw that. I up on our Facebook, the redfish.
Okay.
Basically said, I said the end, where I said at the end was just that one fish brings me back every time. I mean, I love the whole process. I love my daughter went fishing. They caught their first sea trout yesterday. So she actually says, Daddy, how do I clean it? And I said, honey, I got a video on YouTube. That's my daughter. She goes, I know, I've seen that when you do this fish the same way. They've got the trout fillets. They absolutely loved it. And I got a feeling that they're going to be there way more often catching trout.
Ladders. We get ladders.
Good question.
We get stacks and stacks of ladders.
Very good questions. That's an interesting point. Is there any fish that is dramatically different in the way you fillet it?
There's a couple of fish out there that are. One is pike. Pike are really weird on how you fillet them. You actually take 5 pieces of meat out of a pike. It's weird because their bones are central located in certain areas. So you got to cut tail fillet 1 inch above the anal fin forward and back to 1 inch to the. It's a complicated fillet, and that's why most people don't deal with pike.
But for the bulk, that same
for the bulk of them, it's that same basic fillet.
And maybe with what I've noticed as I've watched these fillet videos, include the Rodney Rogers 45-second fillet video.
Yes,
is it's basic, but certain fish may have a certain line of bones here you want to kind of go back and extract from the fillet or something like that.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, flounder is easy to fillet. I mean, they're flat, but you think, man, I can't get a lot of meat off of flounder, but man, you can get a lot.
Okay.
That's a weird fillet, but it's the same thing.
Cool.
You're just doing it a different way. You're not cutting it down the whole. It's a quick deal.
Gotcha.
So maybe once you know what? Here's what I probably should do is just start filleting every fish and showing species. Throw that species up there and just be done with it. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I catch them.
Tell you what, let's take a few minutes and actually have a word from a few of our sponsors.
Gnarly barley, come see why the whole world's singing.
What are you doing?
Dude, I am writing a song for Gnarly Barley.
I see that, but first of all, I didn't realize you could sing. Second of all, why don't you just tell the people how great the Gnarly Barley is, give them the address, and move on with the show?
Dude, have you ever had their flatbread? Their jalapeno flatbread with the cream cheese on top, the chicken, and the special sauce on it. Holy moly. No, wait a minute. Obviously, by the look on your face, you ain't never had that big time Fiesta. Jalapenos, provolone cheese, tomatoes, red onions, and again, Fiesta lime.
Okay, that's it. Shut up, Chuck. We're out of here.
Are you serious?
Come on, we're out of here.
Truly one of Orlando's hidden gems, the Gnarly Barley offers a mind-blowing selection of craft beers and original mouth-watering menu creations. The Gnarly Barley and its incredibly accommodating staff have created a place that really is difficult to put into words. So do yourself a huge favor and come see why people are singing the praises of the Gnarly Barley.
Oh my goodness.
I told you that big time Fiesta.
That is phenomenal. I totally get why you're trying to write a song for that.
Not as simple as you thought, huh?
No. Okay, check this out. Gnarly Barley.
Come see why the whole town's singing gnarly barley. Bicycle blues.
Located at 7431 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida.
After months of asking what more can we offer our listeners, the request above all others has finally been fulfilled. Bang Stick Records proudly presents Rodney Rogers' debut release titled As My Mama Always Said, bringing you 10 original songs written and sung by Rodney himself. Your hearts will be warmed with songs like Gator Riding in the Moonlight, I Got a Stick and Something's Getting Tickled, I Thought It Was Poison Ivy, but now I think it's love. You'll love to drive the back roads and reminisce listening to What a Fish, What a Fish. or scuba diving is better than a redneck yard sale. We know that you'll dance the night away with his rocking new hit, Punchin' My Man Card. Or I've got 99 problems, but the fish ain't one. Or I smell something fishy and I promise it ain't me. Also on this collection is Rodney Rogers' personal favorite. Make sure to tape their mouth shut if you're going to poke them in the tail. You're sure to enjoy this musical stylings from this lovable outdoorsman. You will fall in love with Rodney all over again as he candidly shares his heart and his vulnerability on his first hit single, I Don't Mind the Itching, but the Scratching's Making Me Tired. Rodney's music and the outdoors go hand in hand, so what are you waiting for? Run to the nearest Walmart and demand that they put it on their shelves. Then come home, pick up the phone, and order your own copy of Rodney Rogers, As My Mama Always Said. Trust us, you'll play it in times. Operators are standing by.
Are you a scuba diver who loves to experience the wonderment of the underwater world? Scuba it can be quite expensive. The dive boat alone can account for up to 70% of your diving expenses. But a boat is not your only option. We're proud to announce the Rodney Rogers School of Shore Diving. This accelerated 30-minute course will teach you the critical skills necessary to scuba dive right from the sandy beaches of our beautiful coastline. You'll learn how to properly enter and exit the water, riptide, surf, and undertow techniques, important buddy tips, and most importantly, safety and first aid procedures, which unfortunately you'll probably need. Hear the excitement from actual students immersed in the Rodney Rogers shore diving experience.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, would you mind telling me about your experience at the Rodney Rogers? Oh my, well, there seems to be a lot of commotion. Sir, excuse me, may I ask you a question? Are you taking this course alone, or did you bring along some mates?
Friends? My friend is drowning over there.
Oh dear. Sir, may I ask you, what's it like having Rodney as your personal dive instructor?
I'll tell you,
Oh dear.
Sign up now and skip the costly expense of dive boats. Dive in your own schedule. Spend countless hours getting tossed in the sandy surf. Bond with friends by sharing near-death experiences. Truly explore the ocean on your own terms. Add fun, adventure, and the thrill of shore diving to your scuba skills at the Rodney Rogers School.
That is absolutely not an easy certification to get, Mike. I just want to throw that out there.
Here we are blurring the lines between reality and reality.
So let's get right into the topic. Let's just dig in with our teeth, Mike. Let's just get into this. I had a couple of questions from a couple of young men.
Before we go,
before
we let the train leave the station, we haven't even mentioned your weekend. I talked about New York.
Oh, you know what, Mike? We haven't. Well, let's talk about my.
We don't want to let this moment pass because we might actually get a phone call from a friend or two.
Yes. So okay, well, let's talk about my weekend now. As you all know, if your listeners are, when we were in the celebrity bowling tournament, we were bought by a young man named Dean.
Okay.
A gator hunter. Now, his main objective was, and he told me, he says, Rodney, I have a Lake County license. I'm just kind of learning, the gator hunt thing. So basically, I just want to know what different techniques you have that I don't have or I'm not using or what. So 2 nights of gator hunting, and I think he really absorbed a lot. He had a lot of questions, a lot of the ways that I was basically doing the things that I do. And he was like, okay, one of them is actually what he was telling me is when they get on a big alligator, the alligator kind of disappears and they just kind of, just let him go. There's another gone alligator. So he noticed that when we were on them, we stayed on top of them. We would run them. They would pop up. We'd chase them. They'd go down, pop up. So eventually what you do is you just wear them out. So he learned that technique to wear them out. And that's actually 2 nights, 12 hours a night.
Wow.
And we finally, we ended up getting him a real nice 8-foot alligator, just great gator. He was excited. I was excited. I think we were all excited. Yeah, you can see it right there. You know what? A lot of people ask me what happened to his jaw, his bottom jaw. What happened?
Or the gators?
The gators. Because
Okay.
you can see he's missing a foot right there. He's missing a leg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what happens to these guys? Because the one we harvested was missing 2 legs.
By the way, the photos on the Rodney Rogers Outdoors page. Look
okay.
under the photos under friends section.
Oh, there you go.
Our
There
new
you
friend
go.
Dean's
Exactly.
photos right there.
Oh, perfect. Right on.
Dean
So-
and Jason, I believe.
Yeah, you can actually see that's in there. So basically what happens is this was a male gator. As soon as I saw his jaw tore up like that and the leg missing, you can always bet that these are male alligators. In rare cases are they females. Females aren't quite as territorial as the males are. The males get in fights a lot more. So as you can see in this picture, the
That's a better
separation,
shot,
it looks like Alien versus Predator. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically his jaw is just split in half. So what has happened is these alligators locked jaws. The other alligator went into a death row and basically almost ripped his bottom jaw off. And I've seen alligators with their bottom jaws missing.
I mean, I was complaining about a crown that fell off last week.
Right.
I mean, he's got a much.
Imagine me and you getting in a fight and me biting your ear and just doing a death row.
I thought it was amazing that you actually caught one that had a knife already in its mouth.
How cool is that?
That's a cool technique for a photo there.
Yeah. I wonder what was in his stomach. So, yeah, it's just kind of, we wanted to hold it open. It was just a dilapidated mouth. So
Very
he was
cool,
in pretty
man.
bad shape, man. So he was already starting to heal. I mean, so this happened, this ripping
really?
had to be a couple months ago, if that, maybe a month ago. He had already started healing. He still had some open wounds there. So it was pretty recent. So they got in a big deal there. I mean, you can see how long, this is probably one of the longest.
That is long.
It's just like his tail went on forever. I mean, it was a super nice alligator. Dean was extremely happy with it. I know I was happy with it. So I showed him a new technique, a spear that we've had, we've thrown this spear for years. So well, I make them, this is not something you can buy. And he goes, oh man, I got to get me one. So I gave him my age-old spear.
Very
so that
cool.
spear has stabbed a lot of alligators, Dean. I hope you enjoy it. It's been around a block or two. So hopefully it's as good to you as it was to me.
That's great.
Now, one of the cool things is when we got this thing, I had the milk jug with the glow stick inside of it. And I said, dude, you want to see something really cool? Let's turn all our equipment off. So we turned all our lights off. We see this jug just going across the lake, this lit up jug. So, I was pretty confident. And then it just stopped, and I was like, okay, did it come loose? Because you're always afraid.
Sure. Yeah.
That the spear is going to come out, because when I threw that spear, I mean, I got him right in the center of the back, right through the osteoderms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the scoots on the back. And I pile drived him. I've been throwing that spear for years, and I mean, you've seen me throw it. I get pretty deadly sometimes.
Yeah, but you never know. So if that bucket stops, you never really know.
Exactly.
You just never know till you got in the boat.
Right. And he wanted a high five, and I said, oh, we ain't got him in the boat. Let's get this thing in the boat, and then we'll, do our high fives. Because right now he's still a gator on the loose,
Very cool.
So, we pulled him in. And what was funny is the first, I showed him how to work the gun. But, when you're in a tense situation, you often forget.
Oh, yeah.
So we're pulling this gator up, and he thunks it on top of the head with the bang stick, and it's on safety.
Just made him mad at that point.
Gator takes off. Out goes the jug again. I said, all right, let's take this thing off safety and go for real this time. So yeah, it was definitely a blast,
cool.
man. I know he enjoyed it, and I know Jason and his brother enjoyed it. So it was.
That's fantastic.
We got
Jason
to
and Dean,
harvest
you've got the number. You're more than welcome to call. We'd love to chat with you about your side of that story.
So yeah, man, I was really happy. We, like I said, he bought us in the bowling tournament. So we're always happy to be successful.
Successful, happy endings. Very nice.
So there's yours, Dean.
So I derailed you, Rodney. Let's talk about hunting.
We are talking.
How do you hunt?
386. Oh, get the phone call, Mike.
I'll answer.
Answer it away.
Incoming call.
I'm actually seeing it on my side too.
That's good.
Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors.
Dean.
Dean, how are you, buddy? We were just talking about you.
Uh-oh. That can't be good.
No, it was actually all good. I didn't tell the part where you were in the canoe looking like you were floating across the water like Jesus. I didn't tell him that part. We had Dean.
I was praying the whole time.
Yeah. I honestly, Dean, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought you guys were goners. I'm just glad I was in the bigger canoe.
I didn't hear this part of the story.
The first night we went out.
The first 15 seconds. Yeah.
Jeez.
Dean gets in. I'm going, okay, he's just got to get his sea legs. I think he was locked up the whole time. It's just, well, I told my side, I said, well, Dean, what'd you think about the hunt overall?
I thought it was great. You certainly put the effort in to find that gator for us. We certainly appreciated it, and certainly all the tips and everything else. We're ready to go get our last tag this year.
Well, good, man. I hope you guys are successful. I was just telling Mike, that some of the things you were out there for, not only for a gator, but you kind of wanted to learn some new and I've always said, once you stop learning, you pretty much need to stop doing what you're doing.
Sure.
There's always something you can learn. And this is the first time Dean has actually seen the spear. He has. Have you ever seen the spear before? A spear like that?
No, I read on forums some guys about throwing their harpoons, but like I said, we've got one of those big, heavy, fat rods for a harpoon. There's no throwing that thing.
Yeah, accurately anyway. I'm telling you, once you get used to that spear, it's got just enough weight that it can really do some piercing. As you saw, we went right through the bones. We went through everything. I mean, that thing just pile drived and just stuck in there and did not. It just didn't. He went through the grass. I mean, he took off. I was totally afraid we're going to lose. It's always a fear.
So, Dean, what was your highlights from the weekend?
Oh, I don't know. There were so many. Well, first of all, I don't know. Did he tell you about them chasing after the boar?
Oh, no. Dean, I'm great. Yeah. Go ahead and tell him, Dean.
I have not heard this.
I totally forgot about that.
First thing, yeah. We were just cruising some canals in the truck, and we went all the way back in to these canals, and after they turned around, right in the headlights, this big old boar sitting there just looking for food, grazing along like it's nothing.
Oh, my gosh.
And Rodney looks at Nick and he says, "Hand, I don't have a gun, but we got our bang stick." And the two of them were out of the truck, grabbed the bang stick. One had a knife in his hand, and as fast as they could run, they're down the road after the boar.
Now you've
and
officially.
I look at my brother and say, "All right, we don't want to miss this." So we jumped out and we're trying to catch up, but unfortunately, I guess he got away.
Yeah, I think we just left them sitting in the truck. Nick and I looked at each other.
You have officially met Rodney Rogers.
Never a dull moment, I'll tell you. Yeah, I totally forgot about it. Real nice boar. We saw he had some. We call nice ivory. When you see their teeth outside of their face, it's called ivory. And he had about 3.5-inch tusks. Wow. It was a real nice boar. It was that one-shot deal. You wanted to get him in that first shot because a boar like that could really do some damage.
You can bang stick a boar, I guess.
You can bang stick a boar. It's in the state of Florida. You can take a boar, everything but dynamite. Yeah, there's no. You don't even have to have a hunting license. So thank you for reminding me.
What else you got there, Dean?
Let's see. That started the night off just right. We'll skip that canoe part because he's right about how low my big rear end was floating in the water on that canoe.
We had Dean in literally the shaky canoe. How they stayed afloat.
I know that canoe, Dean.
Amazed.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Jason, his brother, is riding with me, and he's just as comfortable as a bug in a rug, and we're just paddling along. And I said, "Gentlemen, unfortunately, I've only got one survey sheet, and Jason gets it." So so that was our first night. So
we put the effort in, even after you decided it wasn't wise to leave me in the canoe. We put in some long hours searching the canals and different areas downtown. So we're pretty tired in the morning, but
I think we slept well.
The second night was certainly the more positive night as far as production, but. I mean, both nights you had your work cut out for you because there weren't a whole lot of eyes glowing. But we after my canoe experience, we offered to bring our boat down, and so we rode around in style on my brother's flats boat the second night.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So we must have looked through, what was it, 5 or 6 different lakes in that chain.
Yep.
And chased one for a little bit, but it just wouldn't give us anything. And we'd already given up, and we're planning the next night to give it a shot when we spotted that last one.
I was on that deck, and I go, just give me one more.
So how far?
But it all worked out. We figured out how to wear them out and stay on them, and that was good information for us. And but it only took one shot once he had that spear ready.
How far were you from the gator when you first laid eyes on him?
Oh my gosh, a couple hundred yards.
We were, maybe not even.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of shining the grass like we had been all night. I think it was 3 in the morning or so.
Yeah. At that point, it was like 3 in the morning. Yeah.
I was well past my 5-hour energy drink.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
I will tell you this. One of the first alligators we got on right away, it kind of went up in the grass. We kind of lost it. And Dean, I got to tell the story. But
yeah,
Dean pats
we talked about the canoe.
Dean pats his pockets and he goes, you know what? I don't know, but I think I locked my keys in the truck. And we were like, okay, well, no big deal. We're right here. Let's just run back and just check, and we'll build a plan. So Dean goes up to the truck and he comes walking back down the ramp and he goes, oh, it gets better. And I'm not picking up on the sarcastic, it gets better. I'm thinking maybe he found him on the ground. He goes, I left my truck running.
Oh, jeez.
So took us a few minutes. So I backed my truck
Double
up.
Whammy.
And we opened up his truck pretty quick. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, that's how the night started out that night. So, but yeah, I mean, once we speared that gator, man, it was the excitement way better than a 5-hour energy.
Now, Sansa,
Oh yeah,
in the boat.
I forgot to set the bang stick right, so took a couple tries.
But then, did you get the gator on up in the canoe?
No, we were in the flats boat.
My bad. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That night.
Yeah. That time we were in the flats boat.
Probably a good thing at that point too.
Yeah, we taped the mouth.
Taped the mouth. That's always a good thing. We understand.
And then then it's what I didn't get a chance. Excuse me. Is how'd you guys do on the cleaning? Was you able to?
Oh, we did all right. We didn't meet your 2-hour mark, but
okay.
we worked it out. We chilled them until about 1 o'clock when I finally woke up the next afternoon and got on it, and the girls got to see it, and that was the exciting part for them.
Good.
That's cool.
We got it skinned out.
Okay. Did you skin it?
Got the meat all cut up.
Did you skin it out like you wanted to hide and save the belly hide for yourself?
Yes, we did. We skinned it and removed the scoots, but everything else we saved. We even managed to peel it out of that nub of an arm it had, rather than having to slice that leg.
Oh, that's interesting.
Absolutely. Well, cool, man. So you got a good yield of meat off of it then.
Yeah, he had some meat to him.
Good.
We haven't picked up our first gator, but I can tell you he's probably 50% more meat.
Right on.
From what we were looking at.
Yeah.
Now, are you planning on doing something with the hide?
Well, we'll have to see. I haven't gotten it to the tanner yet to find out what we can do. But my wife is telling me that we put in so much time, we owe her a pair of boots. So
I'll tell you this.
Every time we go out hunting, she can stomp around pissed off.
Amen. I'm going to send you a link to one of the United States, and he's out of Georgia, one of the best gator tanneries in the United States, and he's very inexpensive. I'm going to send you a link. That's where we're going to send ours this year. And I think you're going to be super pleased. And I think it'll give you exactly what you want. So I'll definitely get that link over to you. And
if you do end up getting a pair of boots on your wife, we'd love a photo.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, absolutely. I told her that if we actually get 2 boots out of the thing, then hopefully we can call you.
Yeah,
That's on the boot or something.
Absolutely.
I'd love to see photos of that. Yeah, if you hope you don't mind, but we put your photos up on our website of it. The photos Rodney took.
Yeah, so if you go to RodneyRogersOutdoors.com, you get to see your pretty face up there hanging out, my man.
That's probably not good advertising right there.
They'll be like, we can get that fella a gator. They'll get anybody a gator.
An 8-foot gator's always good advertising.
Well, Dean, I appreciate you calling, man. It was so awesome to hunt with you. It was certainly a joy, man, and I can't thank you enough. It was for charity. You did a great thing there. I mean, it was just fantastic all the way around. I just wanted to thank you, man.
Well, we appreciate it too. I definitely had a blast and appreciated all the info you gave me. And to be honest, I'm sure I won that auction at a steal. So you
right.
You worked it too for that gator. But we thank you for it.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Dean. Very nice to meet you.
You too.
And we'll keep in touch, my man.
That sounds great. I appreciate it.
You got it. Tell Jason we said, hey, we'll talk to you later.
I'll do that. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. You too. Yeah, I had totally forgot about the hog.
That's funny. That's
how
hilarious.
How could I forget that?
That's hilarious. It's hilarious because it's so you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what's funny is we took off. You know me and Nick. We're gone.
His explanation was perfect.
The truck's running. The doors are open.
We don't want to miss this.
And they're sitting in the back of the truck like, what just happened? So, you know, this boar is not realizing we're on its tail. You know, it's just moving along, grazing, and all of a sudden one of us trying to get around it to block it off from the set of woods. And Nick's coming around back. I'm coming around the front. I got the bang stick. He's got a knife, and I'm really hoping he's going toward the guy with the knife because this is going to be a great story, you know. But it was probably, you know, 180, 190, 200-pound hog. It was a big boar, you know. Like I said, we saw the ivory, and that makes it a little spooky because them things are razor blades on a 200-pound knife, you know. So it's they're very proficient with these things. You know, one cut and it's over. So yeah, it was interesting. So we were hoping to get them. How awesome would have been the first night? These guys would have been absolutely ecstatic. We'd have took a hog down with a bang stick.
That's the real deal, yeah.
Yeah, we'd have been cleaning hog and had sausage for a month, you know. So yeah, that was absolutely awesome. So I was glad he called, man.
Very
good, man. Well, we got a few minutes just top. Here's the one thing I wanted to point out. One of their main questions was, you know, do you have to have a mentor to hunt in Florida? What you do have to have is your hunter's safety course. Anybody born after June 1st, 1975 has to have this hunter safety course. Now, obviously, I was born way before that. I had to have it to hunt in Colorado. In Colorado, there's no exception to the rule. You know, it's even before me. So I took the hunter safety course years ago in the early 80s. I didn't have to have it, but I gave it to my kids. They were, you know, 8 and 9 years old. So I took them through the hunter safety course. So do the research on the hunter safety course. If you do it with the state of Florida, look in your area, see when the next class is. You can buy your hunting license as if you hunt with someone that is obviously old enough and or has a hunter safety card, you know, that's over 21. So the gentleman that I was talking to, they want to go duck hunting. So when I said, well, stay hooked up with me, we'll take you duck hunting. You'll get your hunting license and you'll hunt with me. Now, you cannot hunt on your own, but you can hunt with someone that has a hunting license. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to try to be concise on this.
Yeah, so like a driver's permit.
Yeah, it's like a driver's permit. It's basically a safety card permit. You cannot hunt by yourself, and you don't want to get caught hunting by yourself. And weekend things, you know, that's the key.
Now, how much of this can be done online versus attending a physical class?
Some of it actually is online, but the bulk of it is in class.
So you do have to attend a location.
Yes, you'll have to attend a location. And the cool thing is you'll get to shoot the firearms. You get to shoot a bow, a 22, a shotgun, as you know, that kind of thing.
They provide all that?
They'll provide all that.
Really?
And that's really cool. You know,
how about the cost?
Free. free for the state of Florida.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah,
Rodney.
it's absolutely free. Like
See,
I said,
that's amazing.
yeah, I took my whole family through it. So if you're thinking about it, take your
That
whole
really
family.
is amazing.
Yeah, because it has a couple benefits. You can get your concealed weapons license with this free course as well. It's a lot more in depth than a concealed weapons class. They don't really. They're just giving you the you're in there for 2 or 3 hours and you're out. You know what I mean? But this is 2 weekends, very extensive training, and it's absolutely awesome.
So if you're an outdoor family, and what is it, 16 or over?
What, to take the class?
To take the class.
No, you could be 6, 7 years old.
Okay.
As long as you can read or write.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I took my kids when they were, I think, 7 and 8. So yeah, I mean, my kids have been hunter certified, took the whole family. So
this says, students who have taken the online course and wish to complete the classroom portion must bring the online completion report with them.
Yes.
So I'm assuming it's sort of similar to what we did with scuba diving. We took a lot of the class information online.
Yeah.
And we took our certification that we did that, and then did our practical. So
and this is relatively new. Used to, you have to go this weekend and the second week. So all you're doing now on the second, when you go to your second part, is actually hands-on. They'll walk you through a little scenario that you got a fake gun and they'll put a turkey in a tree, and you have to physically look at the turkey, and then you got to look at what's behind the turkey, if there's anybody hunting, if there's any tree, a house, if there's anything else back there.
Sure.
So you're going through a hunting scenario. So that's actually really cool. So
all firearms, ammunition, and materials are provided free of charge. Students must bring a pen or pencil. An adult must accompany children younger than 16 at all times.
How awesome is that?
That's amazing.
So take the hunter safety course and take the family. I mean, it's actually a cool weekend. It really is. It's free. You can't go wrong. And I'll tell you what, I'm always eager to have people go with us. And
they're really promoting this, because if you go to the FWC website, and even on the homepage, but if you look under the news, a lot of every week, I check this every week, and every week there's new postings on the hunter courses, new locations when they're happening. So it's very easy to find a location near you or in your vicinity that you can go take these courses.
Absolutely. And just, if you're someone who has land, give us a call. I mean, we would be happy to get with the FWC, and if you have land in the right place, they can actually use that in teaching these classes. So they can actually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're always in need of volunteer land.
Sure.
You're not giving it to the state. You're just basically saying you can shoot your rifles or your bows or do your walkthroughs on this piece of land.
Okay.
They recommend that all they're doing is borrowing a spot once a month or once every 2 months. So the more land we can provide them to walk through and such, the more classes they can have in our area. So I just want to throw that out there.
Well, it looks like they have 4 counties in November set up for Citrus, Columbia, Hamilton, and Suwannee. So if those ring a bell,
Citrus is up by Inverness, and then Suwannee's North Florida. The other 2, I'm not really
Columbia
sure.
And Hamilton, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, they're I'm not really sure where they're at. So yeah, it's free. Again, I got to have it every time I go to Colorado. I'm going to have mine when I go to Maine. We're going to Maine, by the way.
I'm ready. Bags are packed.
So I'm working a deal right now that you and I are going to Maine. So, I didn't get into depth. Maybe we'll we'll move this over to next weekend or really do some more in-depth stuff and take some questions and all that stuff. So if you have any questions, email us at rodney@rodneyrogersoutdoors.com, or you can get on our website and just click on the info button. Poof, it'll shoot you, type up the email, and we'll be glad to read your questions. No question is a dumb question. So to hunt in the state of Florida, let's get into it. Let's get hunting. And by all means, ask all the questions you want. So
we're going to go to Maine and be like those 2 guys who were hunting. They flew in backwoods, and they flew in, and they caught their deer. And they drug their deer back up to the airplane, but they had 6 deer, and the pilot says, you're going to leave 2 of them behind. We can only get 4. Did you hear about this?
No.
And so the guy, I mean, they want to leave 2 deer behind. So the guys are like, well, last year, the guy, we got 6 deer on the plane to take home. And the pilot's like thinking weight and balance. He's not really sure. So he lets he finally gives in, lets these guys drag these 6 deer on the plane. 5 minutes after takeoff, they crash. They're down in the field. One of the hunters says, "Have you got any idea where we're at?" And the other hunter says, "I think we're exactly where we were last year when we crashed."
Mike, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny, my man. I don't even know what button to hear. I wanted to use my gunshot. That is absolutely awesome. Don't forget, we have our 100th episode coming up. We're going to have a lot of details coming up. Right now, just want to put in your head, think 100th episode, January the 5th. We have December 5th is our camping trip. We're going to be doing we're going to be posting on that here pretty soon. Get some flyers out. You don't have to sign up. All you have to do is show up. If you sign up, we know how much biscuits and gravy to have there.
We're going to have some fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So that's going to be a blast.
No pressure, no agenda. Just show up. And we have some stuff that we're going to be trying to do, but we're going to do some fishing and some.
Show up. I don't care if you call us at 2 in the morning and say, "Hey, we're at the boat ramp. We're coming to get you.
We'll get you to the island." Yeah.
We'll get you to the island. So, Mike, do you have anything else?
I do not, Rodney.
Mike has been a pat down. We'll pretend it's Tuesday. You can always listen to us on iTunes. If you have iTunes, on YouTube, you can always watch the episode. I would strongly suggest you watch the Mike and Kim episode.
It's
episode
special.
86 is
Must have been 86, yeah.
One of my favorite episodes, funniest episode ever, and I wasn't even here. And as my mama said 18 million times, and I pray I get to say it half as much, you kids get outside and stay.